What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's been a long road. I wasn't able to make the final, end of cycle video that I wanted to make because, New Year's, Christmas, it was just kind of hectic. Life happens and it is what it is. But I'm coming to you now with a happy new year. Hopefully we can make 2023 a great year. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to keep up with this journey. But today we're gonna go over how my SARMs and pro-hormone cycle went, pros and cons, how much weight I gained, how much size I gained. We'll go over the strength progressions. We'll talk about my blood work. We'll talk about PCT, and we'll talk about the supplements that I'm taking during my PCT and what's all going into that. We'll also talk about how I'll be training post-cycle and how I'll be dieting post-cycle. Also, plot twist with the PCT you'll find out at the very end. So let's jump right into it. So first things first, I gained quite a bit of muscle, quite a bit of weight on this cycle of 8 weeks, 25 milligrams Ostarine and 4 pumps a day of the IML gear cream. Now, when I started this, I was at 165 pounds, 13% body fat, and on the last day of my cycle, I weighed 183 pounds, an 18-pound increase over 2 months. I went from 13% body fat to 15.9% body fat. Kind of a little bit of fat slash water weight gain, but that's okay with me. I did hit my 2022 strength goals and weight goals. And so now let's go over my strength gains. How did my main lifts compare at the end of my cycle to the beginning of my cycle? So when I started this, I was only able to bench 185 for 8. I think I had just been coming off of COVID, so I was like restarting all of my strength. I'd never been able to put 2 plates on the bar in my life. I think the only time I ever did it once was when one guy at the gym was like, hey man, you could probably do 225. And he spotted me, but he was like lifting the bar the whole time. I'm like, dude, this is kind of bullshit. But by the end of my cycle, I went from 185 for 8 to 225 for 8. So I was able to put 40 pounds on my bench press for 8 reps. And that's a pretty fucking big deal for me. I mean, I've never been able to bench 225 for 1, let alone 8. I'm stoked that that puts me in the top 1% of people in the world who can bench 225. I'm excited to be in the 2-plate club, and hopefully I can hang on to these gains because that's pretty significant for me. So 40 pounds on my bench. For overhead press, I went from 95 pounds for 10 reps all the way to 125 pounds for 10 reps. So that's a 30-pound increase on my overhead press. For squat, I went from 225 for 8 to 275 for 8. So that's a 50-pound increase on my squat for 8 reps. And on my deadlifts, I went from 255 for 8 reps to 315 for 8 reps. So that's a 60-pound increase on my deadlift. Whether I can hang on to all these gains has yet to be seen, but we'll see what I can do. As far as the overall cycle, the strength and size gains obviously were pretty fucking awesome. I'll throw up my before and after shots here too. I felt great the whole time. My confidence was high. I was making consistent progress. I was recovering quickly. I didn't have DOMs like once really. I think only on certain leg days, but that brings me into the cons. The back pumps were nuts. Even just doing like overhead press, my lower back was fucking killing. But I was able to start supplementing with taurine. That helped a lot, especially on deadlift days, back days, squat days. Anytime that I have to use my lower back, I pretty much was taking taurine every single day just to prevent any kind of weird back pumps. Because the last thing I want to do is be fucking lying on the floor because my back hurts so much from doing like standing bicep curls. So the only other cons really are if you really hate sweating too, Ostarine makes me sweat a shit ton. I think it raises my body temperature too. Like anytime I'm cuddling with a girl or something and I'm on Ostarine, she's like, holy shit, you're warm. And I think that's just how it is. I don't know if that's a common side effect, but that's just how it's always been for me on Ostarine. I just sweat a lot, I run hot. Ostarine also tastes like ass. It tastes like chemicals. Obviously, they're research chemicals. It tastes like fucking bleach. The gear cream also doesn't smell that great either, but for both of these things, it's like, if the taste is gonna fuck you up that much, literally just like chase it with juice or something. As far as the gear cream smell, I would just rub it on my chest or my legs or whatever and then just spray cologne. It's really not a big deal, and most girls said that I smelled great. They didn't even know that I was using any kind of topical cream or anything. They just were like, wow, you smell really great, and you know, that's fucking awesome for me. So let's go over the blood work now, because I know everyone's curious about that. Very interesting findings. When I started, everything was pretty much normal except my prolactin. My prolactin has pretty much always been high since my first cycle. I was using MK677, but I was also supplementing vitamin B6 with it. Didn't seem to help very much, but my prolactin has been high ever since my first cycle, and I don't really know what to do about it. I don't have any gyno. I don't think I have a pituitary tumor. We'll see, I guess, but my testosterone was pretty fucking high. I mean, it's like a high normal. It's pretty good. Estradiol, it's pretty normal. SHBG, a little bit high. You know, everything was pretty much normal as far as hormones go, except my prolactin, which was obviously high. And I realized just a couple days after I took my blood test that I was gonna have some wild results. I think I watched a Vigorous Steve video kind of explaining what happens when you take testosterone. If you take your blood test while you're on testosterone and it's not like a sensitive assay, it'll pretty much just read it all as testosterone, and it's not going to differentiate whether it's exogenous or endogenous. So I realized, like, oh shit, when I get my results back, it's probably gonna say that my testosterone is high as fuck because I'm using pro-hormones. So normally Ostarine would crash my levels, but the pro-hormones, you know, they were producing hormones in my body. So my testosterone was gonna be high because Let's Get Checked doesn't have a sensitive assay. You know, they just have like the generic test for testosterone. So here are my levels for the end of my cycle. I'm gonna be doing another blood test too, pretty soon, probably within the next week, you know, now that I'm not on anything. So we'll see what my testosterone levels are at and my other hormones. But here's what we got right now. Estradiol, prolactin, testosterone, free androgen index, and free testosterone are all super fucking high, and my SHBG is very low. That's because the pro-hormones convert into the hormones, like they're precursors to hormones. Once I put it on my body, it like becomes all these hormones, and they aromatize, and you know, they act like actual hormones in your body. So my testosterone was 1960 nanograms per deciliter, which is so fucking high. My estradiol was at 102 picograms per milliliter. My prolactin is pretty much the same, but it was so crazy. And like, I just thought it was really funny how like I didn't think about this before I took my blood test, and I was just like, oh shit, my testosterone is probably gonna be through the fucking roof. And sure enough, it was. So we're gonna do another blood test in about a week or so. I'm actually gonna see if I can get on TRT. I'm not gonna say who I'm going through, at least not yet, but we'll see if my testosterone levels are low enough to where I can get a prescription for testosterone replacement therapy. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not recommending anybody do this. You know, don't fucking go on cycle to suppress your levels and try to get a prescription. Talk to your doctor. Hopefully your doctor is super fucking honest. This is just what I'm doing. I'm just documenting this for my own sake and for people to see my mistakes as I make them. And hopefully this video is gonna be a good example of just that. After my cycle on Thursday was the first day that I started my PCT, and I started supplementing with MK677, 25 milligrams a day before bed. This increases the amount of IGF-1 that your body produces. It also increases the amount of growth hormone that your pituitary gland excretes. So it's good for growth hormone, it's good for IGF-1, it increases appetite, but it will decrease your insulin sensitivity. So supplementing with Slin pills before your carb-heavy meals is a pretty good way to make sure you don't end up with diabetes. I also will take B6 to keep my prolactin levels in check. I'll take like 200 to 300 milligrams a day. Also, it would really suck to get prolactin-based gyno, so vitamin B6, definitely something that you want to keep your eyes on. I'm also taking TUDCA, about 500 milligrams every day, just to flush out my liver. I know there's a lot of toxins that have been going through my body, so I'm trying to flush out my liver, get my liver enzymes up, and just protect my liver from the heavy toxins that I've been exposed to. So I'm not taking NAC anymore. I switched from NAC to TUDCA. NAC I think is really good during a cycle, and TUDCA is great post-cycle because NAC is going to protect your liver from the chemicals, and then TUDCA is going to flush it all out at the end of your cycle. Ryan Russo had a video talking about TUDCA where he mentions that he doesn't like taking it during a cycle because he wants the compounds to have a greater effect, and he feels like TUDCA might actually dampen those effects. So I'm taking his advice. I'm just going to take TUDCA post-cycle and then NAC on cycle. Tamoxifen, starting out with 40 milligrams every night and then reducing it to 20. But here's the thing about this PCT. So I started on Thursday and I decided maybe I can get some TRT. So I'm not doing my PCT. I'm gonna try to get some blood tests within the week. I don't feel suppressed. I mean, I still get, dude, the first couple days, it was so hard for me to like maintain an erection and even to just come. So I was kind of freaking out. I was like, oh my God, this is like my first experience with ED. I've never like been with a super hot girl and been like, holy fuck, I can't get it up. Or like to be having sex and then suddenly go soft. It was like, holy fuck, this is such a mind fuck. After 2 days and taking Nolvadex, 40 milligrams a night, I mean, I did it for like 3 days. I did this whole PCT for 3 days. My boners are coming back, my morning wood is coming back, I can hold an erection, I can ejaculate. So everything's good. I don't feel like shit, but I'm wondering if my testosterone levels are gonna be suppressed enough for me to get on TRT. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna take my blood test sometime within the week. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. As far as training and diet, I'm just gonna be training as hard as I was. You know, I'm gonna be running the same 6 day a week, sort of Arnold split, chest and back, shoulders and arms, and legs. And I'm gonna repeat that. And I'll do that for 6 days a week, pretty high volume. So I'm gonna try to keep up the volume and intensity, hopefully maintain all the gains that I've had while I was on cycle. And as far as diet goes, I'm gonna be eating pretty much the same. I might drop the calories just a little bit. I realized that 4,200 calories was probably overkill. I did gain quite a significant amount of water weight and fat. You know, nothing crazy, but I think I can probably get away with cutting like 200 calories off of that a day. So maybe like somewhere between 3,800 and 4,000 calories a day, I think will be plenty for me to maintain the protein synthesis that I need. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't think that I missed anything. You know, I'll throw up some charts, anything that I missed. I'll throw up screenshots as I'm talking here and maybe some videos. And then you can just kind of see, you know, before and after how things went, how my body weight went up, how my muscle went up, how my fat went up, just general weight. I didn't get any videos of my overhead press or my squat or deadlift, but I did get a nice video of my 225x8 bench press. That was a fucking massive moment for me. I never thought I would actually get there. So 225 for 8 was fucking incredible. I'm stoked to have that under my belt. And then obviously the 2-plate weighted pull-up for 4 reps. I posted a video about that before and my reps are actually looking a lot cleaner now, much fuller range of motion. So I can tell my strength is going up on my pull-ups and I just feel great. I don't really think that I need a PCT, but I'm also curious to just see where my levels are gonna be at. And if I do wanna get on TRT, that's just gonna be, you know, cause I'd like to be able to travel with testosterone and not have to worry about getting pulled over or like getting stopped by TSA or something. So we'll just see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted. If you like this video, I know it's been a little long, but I wanted to make sure that I do like a deep dive. If you guys have any other questions or you want me to do like a follow-up video, leave it in the comments. If you have any other weird questions, you can also DM me on Instagram. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, click all, and you won't miss a single video that I upload. I'll give you a video once a week, huh? So I'll probably see you guys next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Appreciate you all, love you all, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.
Somebody to play with. If you don't like me when you see me, better not say shh.